Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. It's January 3rd. January 3rd. Welcome to my channel. We had a break of a key support level yesterday, and that was recovered. So, if you look at futures, right, with overnight sessions built in, that was a nice little balance area we broke, and now we're back into range, and that doesn't usually bode well for bears. So we have to see how this plays out. All right. Without further ado, welcome welcome. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in these markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, and the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the preceding day. This is my edge. This is the way I choose to look at markets, right? So my data is constructed this way. It's very easy for me to come up with plans, all right? Very easy for me to come up with plans. Now, hopefully, every day you join me at 8:10 a.m. All right, and I go over the recap, what happened yesterday. I go over what's going on now. Go over what the leaders and the laggards, the market news, the economic calendar, and then around 8:30 a.m. I'll go over long and short trade scenarios using the Nasdaq and the ES futures. All right, using market profile, volume profile, key levels. All right, and then when the market opens, there's new data, right, that nobody knows, right? And then I have to combine those and come up with a trade to either put risk on or keep my risk off. All right. Now, when they're educational, the trades, I will post them, right? And where I post them, that's at X Gonzo719. That's on my YouTube Shorts. Okay. Also, TikTok Gonzo719 Trader. Okay, check it out. Leave me a comment or a question, and I will get back to you. And of course, if you enjoy my content, please smash the like button. That would mean a lot to me. Now, yesterday I had a beautiful trade, close to the open. Beautiful. And man, I was hoping on that continuation because that would have been a monster. Still a nice trade. I'm going to do a video about it. Don't worry about that. Beautiful trade. Okay. Now, let's get into the watch list here. Let's see what we have going on today. All right. The VIX is leading today, up 1.90%. Silver's up 1.04. Ether's up 0.77. The dollar's up 0.65. 30-year bonds being bought, up 0.44. Nasdaq, good morning, Chief. Nasdaq's up 0.41. ES up 0.31. Russell's up 0.29. The Dow's up 0.29. Crude's up 0.08. Gold is flat. 10-year yield is down 0.75%. Bitcoin is down 0.86. That's what we have going on in futures, going to the Max 7 Plus. All right, let's look at what we got here. Nvidia, I saw put over $1 billion into AI. All right, so they're up 0.78%. Well, just moved on me. JP Morgan's up 0.76. Coinbase up 0.72. Amazon's up 0.65. AMD's up 0.51. Moving on. Now, while Tesla, I think was down 6% yesterday, 10% over the last week or so, I think. Missed their deliveries. So, who's lagging today? You got Apple down 0.47%. They broke that key 245 gamma level. Okay. Boeing is having some problems lately. They are down 0.51. All right. That's going down there. Moving on to the top sector stocks. All right. Now, Uber was put into a buy category. All right. Snowflake's up 0.57. Qualcomm's up 0.49. Goldman Sachs up 0.44. Moving on to laggards, there is none there. Let's move on to the swing trade list. Okay. Las Vegas Sands got an upgrade, I believe, up 3.11. So did Block, up 0.255. Chewy's up 0.251. AstraZeneca's up 1.15. Citibank's up 1.12. Let's look at some laggards here. Carvana having some financial auditing or accounting miscues, some things going on with the CEO selling stock and There's a lot of controversy going around them, and there's one company that's shorting them, so that's the controversy around Carvana. SoundHound down 0.124, Bristol Myers Squibb down 1%, TAP, which is Molson, down 0.96, Ring Central down 0.95, Bitcoin ETF down 0.81. That's going to wrap it up there. Moving on to the sectors, that's the guts of the market. We got leading the pack today, semis up 0.59. Okay. Technology, the largest weighted sector in the S&P 500, up 0.39. Discretionary up 0.35. Financials up 0.33. Communications up 0.24. Energy's up 0.27. It's going up and down on me. There's no laggard today. Okay, so we hit key levels yesterday, and we're bouncing, right? So we'll have to see what happens today. Okay, we'll have to see what happens today. All right, moving on. We're going to move on to some economic calendar. All right. Today, let's check that out. Some news. All right, today we got ISM manufacturing. All right, that's at 10 a.m. All right, I will enter something prior to this, but let the dust settle after 10 a.m. to look for a trade. We also got Fed Barkin speaking at 11 a.m. To some news. What do we have here? United States Steel stock slumped 8.10%. The Washington Post reported that Joe Biden has decided to block the sale of the company to Japan's Nippon Steel. All right, Meta stock rose 0.4 after the Facebook owner elevated prominent Republican Joe Kaplan to its chief global affairs officer, replacing Nick Clegg in the run-up to President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration. Apple stock fell 0.1 after data from government-linked research firms showed that shipments of foreign brand smartphones into China, which included iPhones, slumped by 47.4%. Tesla stock fell 0.4 after the EV manufacturer registered a decline in annual shipments from a Shanghai factory. Block stock rose 2.5 after brokerage Raymond James raised its rating on the fintech company to outperform from market perform. Las Vegas Sands stock rose 2.4 after Jefferies upgraded its stance on the company to buy from a hold. Boeing stock fell 0.6 after Federal Aviation Administration said its tougher oversight of aircraft manufacture will continue indefinitely near a year after the door panel missing 4 key bolts flew off. Now, moving on to, let's see if the juice got anything for us. Let's see here. I believe Europe was down today. Let's see. U.S. equities looks to end worst run since April. Let's see. U.S. equities futures rose modestly, indicating the Wall Street equity may eventually end a 5-day losing streak. Let's see. I could have swore I saw. Yeah, European stocks fell. So, with miners fumbling on concerns about China's demand, Stellantis dipped as much as 3.8 after EV models that previously obtained U.S. tax subsidies for electric vehicles were barred under stricter criteria. Okay. Let's go upgrades, downgrades today. Let's check it out. Boyd Gaming upgraded. All right, let's see who else here. Chewy upgraded. That's why that's moving. Devon Energy upgraded. Let's see who else here. JP Morgan upgraded. Las Vegas Sands upgraded. Shell upgraded. Block upgraded. I mentioned these before, why they were moving, right? All right, moving on. Moving on to downgrades. Okay, downgrades. Bank of New York Mellon downgraded. Let's see, anybody else? Nope. Initiations. Let's go to that. That's not showing us anything. Let's go to price target changes, and we'll go to raises first. Let's see. Target raise Tesla. Target raise 298 to 400. Progressive. Target raise 251 to 256. Penn Gaming. Penn Entertainment 21 to 22. Let's see here. Lending Club. Target raised. Citigroup. Target raised. Win. Now going target lowers. Target lowered. Win. That's interesting. Las Vegas Sands is up. Win got a target lowered. Western Digital target lowered. All right. Let's see. MGM target lowered. Caesar. So other casinos getting lowered, but not Las Vegas Sands. Interesting, right? AIG target lowered. All right. We're done with that. Moving on. We're going to move on to the daily charts here. Just give me a sec while I pull those up. Alrighty. Let's look at those daily charts, right? So, what did we do yesterday? Opened here, pushed up, could not go higher. Very volatile session yesterday. And look where we found support. Last month's lows. Right? This swing low right here was support, right, for the market and bounced pretty nicely. Went down to what's the low yesterday? The low was 5080.5. Almost hit the 100-day moving average, but didn't. Okay, where are we at now? 586. Let's call it 40, 586.40. We're right here. We're in the middle of the range. It's a horrible trade location, but we're in the middle of the range. Let's look at futures. All right. So in futures, we didn't come down to last month's lows, but close. We did break the 100-day moving average in futures, right? We did go all the way up to the 90-day daily, right? And now, look, you can see in futures, it shows you right in the middle of yesterday, okay? This is last week's lows, so we're broke last week's range, okay? So that's what we got going on there. Now let's look at the Qs. In the Qs, right? Remember I talked about this level right here, about 512, 511, around 510. We broke that, right? We broke that in the Qs. You broke the 50-day moving average, right? We went all the way down here, right? Got bought up where? Closed right above last month's lows. Last month's lows coming into play again. Now look what we tried to do. We tried to break into last week's range and failed, right? Where are we at now? 512.30. 512.30 is right here. We're about on the mid part of the range. Horrible location, like I said. Let's look at the NASDAQ today. All right, NASDAQ today. Let's look. See, then in the futures, the NQ futures hit last month's lows. You can see that right here, right? Now the 50-day moving average in futures is right at the overnight highs here. Just have to see where we go. We should test here or here today. This will be called an inside out trade. Now, I don't like to trade those too much. I'd rather wait to come to an edge for me to be active, so we have to see today. Okay, we have to see today. Let's go to that triple-headed monster now. That will be our bond market, right? Let's look at that 10-year yield, right? We're pushed up a little bit today. You can see it's all about 4.63 yield and 5.51 yield. That's the little range we're in, all right? Let's look at that dollar. Dollar broke out yesterday, pulling back a little today. Let's look at our fear gauge. All right. We're just hanging out at 17. What that means, good volatility, good ranges. Remember, 16% VIX is a 1% expected move plus or minus in the S&P 500. Okay, that's wrapping up our triple-headed monster. We're going to move on to the main event now. That is your market profile and your volume profile, the ES and NASDAQ futures. So let's look at that together. Here we are. That is not what I wanted to show you. That is what I wanted to show you. Maybe we just pop it up there again so we know where we're at. All right. Not sure who's with me this morning. I know Rosita is. I'm sure she's just probably listening. Maybe she's watching. Not sure. Let's make this. Now, remember yesterday, okay? Yesterday. Remember when I talked about the profile and it had a bearish imbalance to it? It was kind of like incomplete to the downside. Well, now we got it. Okay, now we got that. All right, now, just to recap yesterday, let's look at it together. Maybe we push this out here. Let's just make it like this. All right. All right, so what did we do yesterday? Yesterday was pretty interesting. Okay. this is, remember, I'm going to make a video about my trade. Okay, so what happened is we pushed up, right? Hit the 59.80, which I talked about was a key level. Went right into well, that was supply. I mean, yesterday, we went right to this level. Basically, you know, um, what you call it here? Trying to. All right. So in the first half hour, this is what happened. Just refreshing my memory here. Pushed up, fell back, and where did we find support? Remember I told you about this 59.36 most traded price of the week, right? We found support right here. Once I saw that, okay, you have to understand what the internals look like yesterday, okay? Ticks were so strong, but yet the market was moving down. There was like a tick divergence. And usually when that happens, and they weren't a little strong, they were very strong. So all I needed was Apple and Microsoft to help me out, right? And Nvidia. So I got long at 59.45 right here, and I took that all the way up to here. And I was hoping to break this and go up to here. But that volatility crept in, and it was just like boom, boom, bounced again, but then boom, went all the way down, right? Here's last month's lows. Didn't quite get there in futures. Okay. Nasty, nasty sell off, right? But then what happened? We went right into demand, right here, and just started to bottom, and then eventually the market closed up here. Okay? So, that was yesterday. Now, look at the weekly profile. Excess to the top, value area, excess to the bottom. That's a bell curve. Okay, that's balance. Okay, and where are we now? Where are we now? Why do I put these levels on my chart? We're at the most traded price of the week. 59.35, 59.36 is the most traded price of the week. So we seem to, now these at levels always act as magnets. They tend to find this is the most agreed price in the last week. Okay? This is the value area. 70% of the trade of the last week is right here. We're right in the middle of value. Okay? So, if I'm going to look at some levels today, what are they? Right? Well, obviously 50.36. Now, look again here. 59.41 to 59.36 is a week high. Okay? So sellers want to defend there, buyers want to break it. Okay? Of course, still a major level, 59.80 in the supply zone, right? And of course, now what also lines up is this prior lows around here lines up with the overnight lows in this demand zone. It's probably why this is being getting supported, right? So, with that being said, let's look at some plans here. Now, we just had a lot of selling, right? Coming down, down, down. Every time we go up, we get sold, right? So, we just have to see, right? We just have to see. I don't know if this is the bottom. I don't know. Okay? Now, let's get into scenarios. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to start with the bull. All right? So, price is 59.36, right at the most traded price of the week. So, let me just expand this before I do anything here. All right. So, let's push this up a little bit. All right? Now, let's look at these levels together, right? We're also keep in mind, that's why I said the midpoint of yesterday's 59.30. Bad place to be. Now, okay, we know we got buyers down here. We know we got buyers down here, right? So now, All these shorts, most traded price of yesterday was right here, 59.50. Okay, they can be put on notice. So what do I want to see as a bull? Number one, if we can just hold above 59.36, and even if you dip into this demand, that's the month to day VWAP right here. So for the month, buyers are in control right now for the only little time you've been in this month, right? You could start to work off. If you break 59.50, that's yesterday's most traded price, right? You do have supply up in here. It's not, I don't think it's going to be super easy, but if you need to break this, then you have thin volume. So if you need to break this and you need to hold it, right? This will give the ability to go back and test that 59.80 again in the supply zone. Okay? The same path, I believe, is open for this demand zone as well. Of course, the best case is to hold above 59.36. But if you hold this 59.20, which is the most traded price of the overnight, and you never really break it, you could do the same thing. Okay, now this is your last line of defense, 59.11, the overnight low, right? It lines up with the previous lows basically. I wouldn't be super crazy about going long here, but it's viable, right? So push down, even if we do this, really want to see it hold above 50.36 and see what we can do. That's where I end my bull cases, okay? Now, for the bears. For the bears, all right? Now, you have supply up here, 59.80. This is probably where sellers will step up, right? They will step up there. Now, this is another place here, 59.36. This becomes a very pivotal level, okay? Sellers want to step up here. So if I'm a seller, right? I'm a bear. Don't want to see acceptance above 59.36. Okay? I definitely don't want to see any acceptance above 59.50. Okay? So, a couple things here. All right? First thing is, if you go like this and come under this, hold, hold, hold. Now, you got the man here, so it won't be easy. This could start, and it takes out the overnight lows. You probably might test yesterday's lows. Okay? This trade's easier than this one, but I have to put it in there because we can also push down, push up, go and go. This is right into supply. If you don't find acceptance over 59.50 and do one of these, you could also do this. Okay. Now, sellers have stepped up in this area. Look at this. How much? A lot, right? A lot. So, depending for me, how strong the market is, right? How strong it is. If we come up here and the market's not super strong, right, and we just come up and it's real quick, but it's like, wow, this market's not that strong, then this is probably another short. Maybe we go back down to 59.36. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing as far as the ES. Now we're going to move on to the NASDAQ. Let's look at that NASDAQ together. Now the NASDAQ has a balanced profile as well. Try to get more of the levels in here for you guys. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ together. Now you can see yesterday's highs and lows, and you got this little baby overnight session, right? And you're at the highs of the session. Okay. Now, the most traded price of the week, of the rolling week, is 213. Right here. Just happens to be where the overnight low hit right up here. Happens to be yesterday's most traded price. So it's pretty key level. Okay, it's a pretty key level. Okay. Right now you're over month to day VWAP, you're over week to day VWAP. And actually you're not over week to day VWAP. Okay, that's still up here. Very similar. So 213 is very similar to 59.36. All right. This overnight low is very similar to that key low that was broken. Okay. And very similar to your, what is that, 58.90 or 59? I think it's 58.90 in the ES. But this, remember, you still have a weak high here to 14.90. And this supply, which was also last week's, what was it, lows, right? Couldn't get up there. Now, it did get up there in the overnight, but not in the real time trading session. It found this supply, right? And once it broke 213, it was off to the races lower. And where did we go? Right to last month's lows. That's that white bar. White to last month's lows. Okay. And then it bounced there. Usually people look at those levels, right? So that's what we got to go with now. So we're going to get into scenarios as well. Let's do it now. Some large orders hitting tape here. All right. Let's do bull first. Okay. So same thing. Okay. Same thing. So if this market can push above 213 and hold. Now there is supply in here, but once you get over this level, it should be smooth sailing to take out yesterday's highs and try to challenge that 214.90 weak high. Try to break this end of the supply and move out of this range. Okay, that's one. Now this right here is a very key level. Now, like I said, I don't like being in the middle of a range here, but this level is going to help me out. All right, but this is in supply. I'm not really crazy about it. Okay. Now, what if we get this? Moves up, pulls back. Now, look what this is. 220, 212.29 happens to be the most traded price of the overnight with the demand zone here. If this holds, this could go boop, and you want to see this push up, hold, 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 and see if you can move. All right, last line here. If we push down, all right, this would not be my favorite. Push down to the overnight lows. If it holds, maybe we move up. I don't know how high we go here. Okay, I don't know how high we go here. Now this isn't really a balanced low, so it's, if we come back down here, I don't know about that. See, came back into a big demand zone. I probably wouldn't be interested in that. All right. Now, on the bear side, you have the 214.90 week high with last week's lows and a supply zone up here, right? You also have this 213, right? Sellers want to defend these levels, okay? Sellers want to defend these levels, all right? So, first thing would be a push up above this level into supply, get rejection, you fall under it. Yeah, you're probably going to test the overnight most traded price, 212.29, right? And this is the inverse, so I got to go with the bear. If you take this out, you should flush, hit the overnight lows. This should be the last line of defense here at 211.44. If you break that, we're probably going to test last month's lows, yesterday's lows. Okay, and you're into a big demand zone. Okay, now on the other way, if we go and we do go up here, but it does it really quickly and the market really doesn't get a chance to get stronger, you can go right into this level, break 214.90 and fall again, and maybe we just hang out at 213. Okay, I'm not ecstatic about that. The market has to be not that strong for me to look at that. I don't just play the level. I have to see the quality of the market that I'm dealing with. If it's super strong, I'm not going to short there. So that does it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that content today, and smash the like button if you so can do so. I feel like my brain is coming back to normal now. I'm on these new meds, so I think my body's finally adjusting. I feel sharper today. Now, that is our plan today. Okay, I just have to see always how the market shapes itself when it opens, right? Now, I don't love where we're at. I do not love where we're at. In the middle of yesterday's sessions, that's just, ugh. That could cause a lot of chop. So I would caution chop. All right, you got 59.36 in the ES, 213 in the NASDAQ, very close to those levels and you're in the middle of yesterday's sessions, be prepared for some chop. And if it's volatile because of that VIX is higher, it could just be a larger range of chop, but chop. Remember, 10 a.m. we have news. So I'm going to sit back and just assess today. Okay? One of my levels gets triggered. I like what the internals are saying. I'll put risk on. Okay? So, that being said, hopefully you guys can join me every day. All right? Have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea, water, whatever you want to have. Come join me. Let your boy give you the story of the market. Let me give you the recap. Let me give you all the down low on the markets. All right? No cost. Just knowledge, right? Just knowledge. All right? Everything I use on my charts have reactions. The levels always have reactions. They're not there just because they look good. All right? So come join me. All right? Come join me. Subscribe, set an alert. All right? Now, everybody, have a great day. We have a weekend coming. Next week, I know Biden gave Jimmy Carter a day of no trading. Let me look at that real quick. I think that was January 9th, I think I saw. Yeah, next Thursday, I believe, the market's closed. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. All right, so another 4-day trading week next week. Everybody have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay green. And I'll see you guys on Monday.